What I'm most proud of is the fact that it's a mission-driven company. We're doing it for the right reasons, but it also came out of a sense of personal need and purpose that we both have had, right? We both have spouses we, love deeply and kids we actually like and parents that are fine until something goes wrong and they're not, right? And when that happens, as you recall, we don't know what to do. You don't know where to go. You don't know who to trust. And the other interesting part is you really think you're alone, but as you talk to other people, everybody's going through it and it affects everybody.
Yeah, I think we wanted to do something that really made a significant impact and that would be a mission. And then I know in my case, when my dad got really sick really quickly, he wanted to be at home with my mom. Here, we both are healthcare executives. We have means, we have close families. And in my case, I didn't know what to do. I didn't know where to go, what questions to ask, who could help me. I gained 25 pounds in 6 weeks. My wife even suggested taking a leave of absence. My productivity certainly was not very high and it was incredibly stressful. And there was nobody there to help. And that was the thing that was most frustrating. And I think for me kind of brought this issue to the forefront that if I'm going through this challenge, what about everybody else? And come to find, like you said, when we start talking to other friends and colleagues, so many people are going through this as their parents age. And then we come to find out people who have family members with different diseases and disabilities and teenagers and kids with all the different problems that it seemed like a problem that we just had to leave our cushy corporate jobs to solve.
Well, how many colleagues have we had or folks that have had the good fortune to work for us that have missed work and maybe they didn't tell you exactly why they were missing work. They would cover for the reasons they'd missed because admitting that you're a family caregiver at some points of time, it wasn't as celebrated maybe as it should be. And it didn't have the respect that it should have. And maybe if they had a doctor's appointment, they'd have to take their mom or dad to. They would say it's their doctor appointment, or if they had to travel for business, they would come up with an excuse not to travel for business. So, it's one of the reasons that we feel so good about it because we're able to help with productivity, we're able to help with retention, we're able to help with the mental health of those that are going with it because it really does affect everybody. It either does, it will, or it did. That's what I think we should be proud of ourselves for bringing this in a scalable way to a lot of people.
Caregiving has become the number 2 reason people are leaving the workforce. Not forever, but because they've got to find a way to take care of their family. And we don't think it has to be a choice between being there for your family and being there for your career. People have been doing that with childcare for a long time. Since the pandemic, they've been doing it with mental health. And now I think we're fortunate that the issues around caregiving are really coming to the forefront and organizations, whether it's a company or insurance plans, are recognizing how important an issue it is and how important it is that they solve this issue and support people.
What do HR leaders want? They want a program and a benefit that affects a large part of the population in a very meaningful way that their employees and colleagues will use. And when you think about what we've been able to achieve, it does affect a large part of the population, especially when you incorporate the special needs focus on it. It could be 40, 50, 60% of the population. And we're getting that utilization rate, which we're so proud of, right? We're getting 7, 8, 9, 10, sometimes 11% across the entire employee base, not just those that are family caregivers. And they love it. And the proof's in the pudding where, our retention rate is, well over 99%. So once people have the ability to try it, they use it, they really like it, and then they stick with it.
I think about when we started it, the issue was real, but people didn't talk about it much and there wasn't as much of an awareness. And now as we talk to companies and insurance plans, there's certainly a much greater awareness. People are talking about it more.
But what's also so interesting is most people don't understand what a caregiver is. They don't even identify themselves as a caregiver. They're just a son or a daughter or a sibling or a grandchild or a spouse that just happens to be taking care of somebody. There's no self-identification that they are a family caregiver. And a family caregiver, by the way, doesn't even have to be a blood relative. It could be anyone that's helping out. So part of it's just the recognition that I am a family caregiver and a reflection on that allows people to kind of realize that we really can be helpful to them.
We've discovered that being a caregiver really is much more broad. And it affects people who have teenagers with different issues, children, whether it's ADD to autism, people with different diseases, whether it's themselves or a spouse. And now we're into childcare. And really, when you look at that broad spectrum of caregiving, it's almost 3/4 of all the employees are going through something in there. Many of them are going through multiple things.
But what's also so interesting is most people don't understand what a caregiver is. Think about long-term care. What are the goals of long-term care? Insurance companies would love to keep their policyholders at home longer, as long as possible. By the way, the policyholders and their family want them to remain at home longer. We have shown real evidence that we could delay almost indefinitely the need to have to go to a facility by keeping them at home longer and bringing all the resources to bear at home.
And even when you add home care 5 days a week and other services at home, which people need, that's something that the policyholders greatly prefer, their families prefer, and it's half the cost of going to a senior living community. So everybody wins kind of in that process.
Yeah, I mean, it really gets back to when people learn about us, they like to try it. When they try it, they really like it. When they try it and like it, they stay with us. Yeah. I just think what's really gratifying is the feedback we're getting from both the employers and the plans and the members themselves or the employees themselves, right? So the institutions like the fact that we're able to get that utilization, to get that really positive customer experience, but the employees or the members themselves see the value we're bringing.